we'll just start with say and spell your name.
My name is Linda Larkan, Linda Larkan.
Awesome. Where did you grow up, Linda?
I grew up in West Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah. What was that like?
It's a good place to grow up. It's actually, it's Louisiana as well, but it's very different from the culture here in Lafayette. So, Lafayette, South Louisiana is mostly Catholic. North Louisiana is mainly Baptist, and you wouldn't expect that to affect the culture as much as it does. But, for one, we don't have access to the same types of, or at the time at least, when I grew up, we didn't have as much seafood there, right? We wouldn't have catfish, but we didn't have all the shrimp, and certainly I didn't have a crawfish until I was in college. So definitely the food is different. You wouldn't think that would be tied to religion, but it kind of is, because Catholics, they, fast on fish on Friday, so that's, it's a different culture, and traditionally Baptists don't drink alcohol, which again kind of leads to a different type of culture. So it was a good place to grow up. I still love it there, and it's good. It's neat to have that as part of my as part of my background. Yes.
Yeah. Now I know West Monroe is very different from Monroe, so you made sure to say West Monroe, right?
It is. It is. I mean, there are two separate cities, two separate governments, and yes, Monroe. The city slickers were in Monroe, and then the rednecks in West Monroe.
Right.
So I am a redneck.
Too funny. I had some friends who were from West Monroe, obviously, too, and they always hounded, I'm from West Monroe.
West Monroe.
Not Monroe.
Yes.
Too funny.
As a matter of fact, I went to high school with Willie from Duck Dynasty.
Oh, yeah? How funny. What was he like then? Still the same?
Oh, yeah. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice. He didn't have the beard, obviously, but I'm really happy for all of their success, and just couldn't happen to nicer people.
Good. Awesome. So where did life take you after West Monroe?
I moved to Baton Rouge and finished college at LSU, and then moved to New Iberia to teach school, and I taught middle school for 5 years there.
Oh, okay. What did you teach?
I taught 7th grade history, 7th grade science, and then 8th grade computer literacy.
Okay, yeah.
Did that for 4 years.
Oh, cool. So are you a teacher now?
I teach adults now.
Oh, yeah.
So for the last almost 14 years, I've had a computer training firm that teaches information workers how to use products like Word and Excel.
Oh, okay.
SharePoint, Microsoft Project, and also more recently Evernote. So I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and I'm in that world, and that's a big part of what I do. But within the last year, I've become certified in Evernote, and that's neat too, because it has what's called an open API, which means that it connects with other applications really well. And so I use it for a lot of my own work to run my business. So it's neat to see that. I'm enjoying that.
So who do you enjoy teaching more, I guess you could say, kids or adults?
It's different.
It's different.
It's very different. And no, I enjoy, I just love people, So for me, I enjoy the big ones, I enjoy the small ones. So more recently, and I'm not really sure how this passion is going to manifest itself, but more recently, I'm just really passionate about how do we teach the children computer science concepts, right? So I don't necessarily see myself getting back to teaching middle school, so I don't really know. I could, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know if that's where God wants me, but I just see, even in the Bible they talk about the harvest is plenty and the workers are few. I just look around and I just think that these kids, work is going to be changing so much in the next few years, and you just look at industries that, even what you guys do, right? Just media has changed so much just before our very eyes. So when I look at that and just what these kids need to know and who's going to teach them, right? teachers are not I mean, they have to have the tools to work with, right?
Yeah.
So I know that there are a lot of people who are working on the problem already, but I think somehow, some way I'd like to contribute to that, but I haven't. I don't necessarily know yet how what that looks like. But.
So because you became a teacher at your early point with kids, growing up, did you maybe have a teacher that was a mentor, or did you have other mentors in your life that you can remember?
I had lots of great teachers.
Yeah.
Lots of great teachers. And I always wanted to be a teacher.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
if you had asked me when I was a child what I wanted to do, I would have said I wanted to be a teacher or an attorney. And so those are both interests.
Sure.
But no, I've had a lot of. I think part of it is just I just like things. I'm just curious about things, right? And so people who like to learn are kind of inclined to teach.
Exactly.
Too.
Yeah, definitely. Especially learning so many new things, like you said, with computers, technology. It's always something.
Always something. Can
So-
never rest.
So tell me how you first got involved with AOC.
That's a great question, and I wish I had a clear-cut answer. I don't even know how I know about you guys.
That's fair.
It's like
We're just there.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, part of living in Louisiana.
Sure.
In Lafayette, you know about AOC, but we talked about industries that are changing. Training is changing, and it's changing really rapidly. So, for a lot of years, I do live instructor training. I also do training online with remote learners, but video, and I mean, there's a lot of people already doing it. I'm interested in creating video materials so that you've got that knowledge transfer that lasts longer than you do, right? And you can impact a lot, have a greater impact
Yeah, sure.
by doing that. So many marketing experts just say, oh, just get your iPhone out and just use your iPhone. You can do it. But when you actually start doing it, it gets a bit more complex.
Yeah.
And I've tried a little bit with video, and honestly, the results were pretty comical. So I don't even know how I wound up on the AOC website, but I noticed the classes and the equipment, and definitely I believe in the whole aspect of sharing knowledge. So I'm interested. So I'm a new member, but I'm an enthusiastic member.
So what was your first impression of AOC then, once you started discovering for yourself?
My first impression is that there's a lot more here than what I initially realized. So, and it's more than television. So I was surprised to see the podcast studios, surprised to see the social media presence, and the level of equipment that's available, including the software applications. When I started pricing some of that stuff as far as putting together my own studio, just the software is very expensive. And when I attended the orientation with you guys, oh yeah, you have all of this, and it's free for you to use if you're a member. And so yeah, that was really impressive.
Very cool. What's your dream project to work on or to produce?
I had a hunch you would ask me something like that, so I should be more prepared for that question. And the thing is, I just have a lot of things that are interesting to me. Initially, my thought was that I would probably do something with Evernote, and I still might, but it's one of those things where once you have that tool available, you're like, oh, well, I could do something for that. So one of the other things that's interesting to me is my husband just recently got his Louisiana automotive dealer's license. So there might be some stories to tell in that as far as restoring cars, or
Oh,
so
cool.
there's some things that we might do with that. and then, like I said, I'm not sure if something with this teaching computer science principles, if that's a way to feel like I'm contributing toward that goal.
Sure, definitely. That's great.
So I wish I could tell you
All of
I'm
those
going
are
to do
good.
this and I'm going to do it then, but
no.
it's still kind of coming together
Yeah.
for me.
Definitely. I don't think we have any official car shows, you know, on AOC. It's definitely good content that I don't think we have.
Well, I will
Yeah.
pass the word along.
And likewise with technology, I mean, we produce some content to help kids and adults, but I don't think we have any community producers that are actually producing that type of content. So that's great, definitely.
Well, cool.
What are you looking forward to in 2017?
What am I looking forward to? That's a great question. I don't exactly know how to answer it. What am I looking forward to? Seeing friends. You know, I've got some trips to see friends that are coming up, and interesting projects with work. I mean, including this.
Yeah.
But
Where do you get to go?
I have a trip to Seattle planned.
Nice.
And I also have a trip to Las Vegas too,
Fun.
which will be fun. But it's also to reconnect with some colleagues that I worked with on some projects
Very
a few years ago. So that will be neat.
Yeah.
So, but as far as the second half of the year, I don't know.
That's cool. Do you enjoy traveling then?
I do. I like travel in small doses.
Yeah. Really?
I like it in small doses. You know,
Okay.
I like to go, but I like to be home.
Gotcha.
So it's a little, sometimes it's difficult to do it in small doses though, because you either connect with clients that expect you to travel all the time, or you don't travel at all. So it's, I enjoy that. So yeah, once or twice a month is about the right amount.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. What are you reading right now?
What am I reading right now? So I do a lot of audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
So I just finished is it the 8-minute writing habit?
Mm-hmm.
It's about upping your writing speed.
Okay.
Monica Leone,
Yeah.
she, I think I'm saying her name correctly. So she also has Write Better Faster. So that's another one that.
Sure.
So
I've heard of that one, yeah.
So I've got some books in me that I need to write, and that she does a lot with teaching you how to hacks to get it written faster, which I do. I haven't written a book of my own, but I've ghostwritten on other people's people's books for Microsoft Press and for some materials that Microsoft produces for students.
Sure.
I've done that. Yeah. And recently I've written exam questions. So
very fun. So
it is kind of neat. Yeah. And actually the project was pretty neat too, because it was an exam that is geared for high school students and assessing their performance on block-based coding concepts.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool. So is your dream book to write fiction or nonfiction?
Oh, no, I don't have any fiction books in me.
Fair enough. Very cool.
I wouldn't know where to start. You know, I say that I wouldn't write fiction, but possibly children's books, you know, because that's neat. As we discussed, I used to be a teacher, and so while I was in school to do that, I worked at a teacher supply store that had, they also sold children's literature. Yeah. So I just within the last 6 months let go of a lot of my children's literature collection. Yeah. I have one of my cousins, her home flooded, and her grandchildren lost their books. So most of my children's literature collection is with them now. But I could see me writing that, and that would be fun. Sure. But otherwise, probably technology and productivity books.
Very cool. When you were growing up, what were your favorite books or movies or singers?
Nancy Drew.
Of course. Of course, Hardy Bars.
Yes. And she had a blue convertible, and I thought that was neat.
Yeah. Too funny. Yeah. Okay. What about your favorite movies or singers or anything like that?
Favorite
What stands
movies?
out?
Oh my gosh, I watch goofy movies that probably my friends will lose all respect for me if they,
Yeah.
But Something About Mary is just one of my favorite movies. The Father of the Bride. I like goofy movies.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in the same boat. Let's see. Music today. Who would you
today?
Who would you include on your playlist? Who do you have to listen to? What are the artists that you have to listen to?
Actually, one of my very favorite artists now is Loren Daigle. She's a contemporary Christian artist, and to me, she's like the gospel Adele. It's like she's just so talented, and
she's from Lafayette.
She's from Lafayette, absolutely. So I think she's great.
Yeah, definitely. She definitely has a presence. Yeah, very cool. Who else would you put on your playlist? Doesn't have to be from today. Yeah.
I listen to country. I listen to top 40.
Yeah.
That little Justin Timberlake song that's out right now just kind of makes you want to jam.
It's catchy. Yeah. Very cool. What's your superpower?
I just really love people, and I think they can tell it. So I feel like I have a gift to be able to connect with people. That's something that's from God, So that's probably my superpower. Where when I lived in West Monroe, I knew everybody at my school, and then I knew most of the people in the community. I went to Northeast, and I knew everybody, and I went to OSU, and I knew people, and so I think that when you love people, that they can tell it, So that's
very cool.
Makes it easier to make friends.
Yeah,
it's a blessing.
Yeah, definitely, and keep friends. What inspires you?
What inspires me? I guess my faith is what inspires me, right?
So. What achievement are you most proud of?
I just got so many achievements. I just don't know where to start.
We've only got a few minutes now. Too funny.
So, which one am I most proud of? So, I'm proud of my professional accomplishments. So I have worked hard to be a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm actually a regional lead for this area, and there's only a handful of them in North America. So by being able to achieve that level, that has allowed me to meet and make friends with some of the very best trainers in the world. And it's really an honor to do that. So I'm blessed to be friends with trainers from all corners of the world through those connections. So that's been a really neat opportunity and a proud accomplishment.
Very cool. Very cool. What's one thing about you that few people know?
What is one thing about me that few people know? Most people probably don't know that I like to go camping, and that I grew up doing that, and I still enjoy it. That I'll sleep in a tent, and that's fun to me. So,
what is it about camping that connects you? I guess. What is it that?
Just the being outdoors.
Yeah.
Stuff being near nature.
Yeah. Very cool. You have all the camping gear.
I did. My husband's not a big camper, so I'm not sure that we still have it.
Fair enough.
He doesn't like to sweat. That didn't come out right.
Fair enough. My kind of camping is in a hotel room.
He prefers that. He doesn't. He's hot-natured, I should say. He's not
He doesn't want to camp in Louisiana then.
there. Yes.
Fair
Yes.
enough.
But he'll work outdoor. He does sweat, so
Yeah.
I made him sound like a sissy.
I think he's okay. Too funny. Just a couple more questions.
Okay.
How do you want to be remembered?
How do I want to be remembered? So I hope that people feel like I've had a positive impact upon the community and my world. You know, I hope that people feel like I've helped them learn and helped them through life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Describe yourself in 3 words.
In 3 words. So I'm okay, Nancy, that's a good one. I might need a multiple choice on that. I don't know. This is easier to pick from a list. 3 words. 3 words. So Southern, because I feel like that entails a lot in it, and including, I mean, a lot of aspects of my personality I feel like are definitely related to Southern roots, and curious just about the world and interested in what's going on in the past 3 words. But so Southern, curious, and I'll say Christian. You know, that's also something that I feel like wraps up a lot of aspects of my personality and my faith.
So. Definitely. Very cool. Awesome. You survived. You're done. Good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was very good.